Welcome to another episode of Risk Guys. This is another Capital Conquest game on Blackbeards Wrath map which is being played with public randoms. Settings: Alliances on, balanced blitz dice rolls in 60 seconds per turn. So the first phase in the Capital Conquest games is for the players to select where they want to place their capitals. And personally, when it comes to me, I look to place my capital in a territory which would work as border to better protect the area I'm going for. All in all, you want that your capital would be safe. So you're probably going to add the most of troops to it, so if your capital is not on a border, then it will be so much easier for others to invade you. Or if your capital being inside your area, you basically don't add your troops on it at all while putting all the troops on the borders, so then one of your borders doesn't get the capital defensive bonus, which would make it harder for your opponents to invade you. And if someone breaks into your area, then they can capture your capital easily as well, with it only having not so many troops or even only one on it. So yeah, or if I cannot put the capital on the border, then I just try to put it in a place which would be very unlikely blocked, as if you put your troops to your capital in an isolated place without holding any area, then you could struggle. And finally, another aspect which I take when placing the capitals, is where my opponents put them. So if I see that a lot of them put them around the same area, then I will try to put it in some completely different spot of the map, so it would give me more chances to expand and capture areas, comparing with my opponents which are being close to each other, feeling intimidated and being afraid that they're going to get blitzed by each other. So in this game I was going second, so I only got to see where the red player puts his capital before me placing it as well. What I noticed is that by putting my capital on this territory works perfectly for me to additionally use my capital as a strength and border and increase my chances to successfully hold the area in overall. There was a possibility that the dark blue player could have placed his capital on this territory and be next to me, but with the light blue player already putting his capital in that area, thank God the dark blue player placed his capital over there. Which probably isn't as great choice the position-wise, because it will easily get blocked, and even with the dark blue player's area getting invaded, his capital will still stay blocked. So in my opinion, that was a very bad capital placing choice made by the dark blue player, and the same comes with the light blue player as well. So if they put the majority of troops on their borders so their areas wouldn't get invaded, then they don't get the capital defending bonus, or if they put the majority of troops on their isolated capitals, then even though with their capitals being safe, their continents should get invaded easily, and if so, then they would be better having strong alliances with others and especially with each other, since they're obviously bordering. So of all three of my opponents, I would say the red player is in the greatest position. If his area gets invaded, then his capital with its army will get unleashed. And then another thing is that he is far away from us, which should let him feel more free and give the possibility to capture and successfully have more territories, comparing to me with the both blues where we close to each other feeling intimidated and will be recapturing the same territories around. And the light blue player being in the middle between dark blue and me, he is in especially worse position as both of us could access and invade him easily. So he will be really relying to us when it comes to holding his area. And if the red player clears out all the dark blue player's territories from here right now, then the dark blue player will just very likely invade the light blue player into his area. And all in all, with the dark blue player's territories being cleared out outside his area, he ends up being in a very unfavorable situation as well. Well, it kinda depends if both of the blues have a strong alliance with each other. Because if not, then they will be very screwed. I of course invaded the red player into his second area, but obviously fortified all of those troops to my capital so the light blue player wouldn't come up with the idea to try taking it from me. And as you saw, at first he was considering adding his troops next to my capital, but then he changed his mind and added the troops next to red, and not only capturing some territories of him, but also successfully blitzing his capital, getting a very favorable blitz roll as capitals are supposed to have a good defending bonus, but the light blue player successfully crushed it, having basically the same sized army and even losing one troop fewer. But even with the light blue player successfully taking over the red player's capital, I think all of his efforts will go in vain anyways, as the red player very likely have a set at 4 cards. So he basically wasted those precious troops instead of using them to protect his continent or something like that, because he just almost got completely wiped out from his area by the dark blue player. And to be honest, I don't really think it was a great decision made by the dark blue player as well, because using tons of troops on the light blue player, he just really gave a huge advantage to me with the red player already being weakened by the light blue player. He offered me an alliance request, but I think it doesn't really make much sense to have the alliance with him when I potentially could dominate the whole game by attacking both of my opponents after taking the light blue player out for his cards. As if I just let my opponents hold areas deciding to play very passively, then obviously they will catch up to me the troop-wise once again. And since they already traded in their sets, it especially makes a lot of sense to attack them, since they will very unlikely be able to retaliate much. As you can see, I have as many troops as both of them combined. So I just need to make sure that my capitals won't get taken down, and then I will win the game easily. And the good thing is that even though they could recapture a lot of territories of mine to decrease my territorial troop bonus, they cannot really feel that much comfortable like in the world domination games, because they also at the same time need to be sure that they have enough troops left on their capitals. And as you saw, the dark blue player even became a bot. So I'm not sure what he was thinking, so drastically weakening the light blue player. Well, it was shown that the dark blue player is online again, but that's just probably a bug. But with the red player being so weak, I decided to highly crush the dark blue player anyways. Well, since it was a capital conquest game where you only need to capture all the capitals in order to win, I probably shouldn't have crushed the dark blue player that much, and all that I needed to do with him being a bot is just to invade him into his area, but I mean, I'm dominating this game anyways. Well, that was possible that with the red player having a set he could have taken over the blue players in my weaker capital, but I really doubt he would have taken down my 8-troop capital as well. And as you saw, the red player for some reasons didn't even try invading my new area. So maybe he is just already giving up, but yeah, it was obvious for him that I win this game with him not having a set anyways. And again, I'm not sure why I set up my troops in order to completely take the dark blue player out when I only needed to take down his 1-troop capital, when I could have added these troops next to the red player's capital. But I mean, that's fine anyways. I guess I've just got really used to the world domination games. I haven't been playing multiplayer Capital Conquest games for ages now. But yeah, that's a GG. If you enjoyed watching this game, then I would recommend checking out these as well.